Welcome back. You're still watching Network Africa on Channels Television. Now, the leading opposition party in South Africa, that's the Democratic Alliance, the DA, has billed the August the 3rd, 2016 municipal elections in the country as the most important ever. The word change dominates the party's poster. And to an outside observer, the word change might suggest that the governing African National Congress, also known as the ANC, will no longer be the majority party in South Africa after the elections. However, analysts who follow South African politics closely know that such a thing might not just happen when everything starts to play out on August the 3rd. Joining us to fill us in on what's playing out in South Africa ahead of that highly anticipated vote is the CEO of Junto Media, Mr. Lucas Malloy. Mr. Malloy, thank you very much for joining us on Network Africa.
Thank you, and good day to your viewers.
Thank you. Now, let me just start with what the analysts are saying. Is the ruling party about to be displaced by the Democratic Alliance come August the 3rd?
Definitely not by the Democratic Alliance. Perhaps if we are talking about a government of unity between the Democratic Alliance, perhaps, and the other smaller parties, but definitely not by the Democratic Alliance. See, the issue of the ANC and the Democratic Alliance goes back since our second democratic election, and they're not about to by themselves dethrone the ANC now.
Now, how important are the elections which are about to hold on Wednesday? Because some say it's very important, while others say it doesn't really matter.
It does matter. What we're going to see, we are going to start seeing how the decline, the level of the decline that the African National Congress has gone through. You see, if you look at the bar charts of the elections and the support in that, you will see that for every election that we have had, the ANC has been losing its majority in that. So these elections are quite important in a way that we have got also another kid on the block, which is the EFF. Now, these elections will show exactly at what is the power leaning more to the EFF, and is the Democratic Alliance getting weaker itself, and that because there is another suspicion that the ANC might not be getting weaker alone, but the DA also might be losing the vote that they have received from the disgruntled ANC supporters.
Mr. Malloy, analysts have obviously predicted that the ruling party will not be displaced. But isn't it rather ironic, if we're going to go by the discontent expressed by South Africans in the past year as regards the ruling party?
It is ironic. The thing with the South African vote has always been a very emotional vote. So we leading to the elections, after the elections, you see people protesting, people going angry, burning things and that. But every time what we have seen and what is proven is that every time when people are faced with that ballot paper, they always vote different to how they demonstrate on the street. So that is still there. If you look at it, the DA is still viewed as a white party, no matter that the leader is now black and that, but they are still battling to really secure what is called a black vote. Now, what you see the DA happening in the DA, you're seeing a lot of the colored voters and the white voters voting for the DA. Now, the black disgruntled members that were voting, or voters that were voting for the ANC, had gone to the DA. We're thinking they might even come back to the EFF because they have been seen to gathering quite a momentum in this past few weeks.
And finally, how is everything looking in terms of security? Because we heard a lot of confidence coming from the police about how ready they will be for this week.
Look, for every elections that we have had, we've always had a very high police alert and police presence. But where you would find really violence in terms of election violence or intimidation, it's always very, very minimal. So at this moment, it's not really a concern in the country. Things are very normal. Everybody going as by the way. The only area that has had problems has been the KZN, and also this was not extended to the general public, but to the councillors themselves that had been murdered and that. So as things stand now, it should be a very fair and or peaceful election.
Well, we do hope that things play out as you've predicted. Thank you very much for joining us, Mr. Lucas Malloy, CEO of Junto Media.
Thank you very much.
Well, let's take a look at one of our Nigerian brothers who's doing us proud. Chef and blogger Ozoz Soko is creating upscale West African food by turning traditional Nigerian recipes into fine dining. Ozoz is part of a new generation of chefs who are pushing the boundaries of African cuisine.
Chef Uzo Orimalade left her high-profile corporate job to pursue her passion for food. She set up Uzo's Food Labs, where she grows her own herbs and vegetables. One of her clients is another chef, Ozoz Soko. Both women are slowly revolutionizing Nigerian cooking. Uzo started an initiative called Garden to Table Nigeria, which encourages organic and environmentally friendly farming. She grows tomatoes, eggplants, peppers, cucumber, ginger, and other vegetables and herbs, some of which are not indigenous to Nigeria. Under the Monica Kitchen Butterfly, Ozoz runs a blog where she experiments with local recipes in what she calls the New Nigerian Kitchen.
The New Nigerian Kitchen that we see a lot of now, that's championed by somebody that I really, really like, Ozoz, integrates other elements from other cuisines into our Nigerian food. So by having a garden like this with things like basil and lime basil and the foreign eggplant, we can integrate that into Nigerian foods and it will be seamless. And I think that that's actually the key to opening Nigerian food up to the international palate. A lot of the problem, I think, has been the presentation of Nigerian food and the conkness, which isn't necessarily bad. But let's face it, you need to water things down or make Nigerian food a little more acceptable to the palates of foreigners, and by doing that you can just integrate some things that they're familiar with, and then it almost seems like it now goes from Nigerian food to world cuisine.
Today, Ozoz is preparing a meal for a group of friends in her home in Lagos. The chef says she transforms Nigerian meals into delightful culinary adventures. Ozoz hopes the New Nigerian Kitchen will inspire other chefs to be more innovative and push food and restaurant industry here to grow.
I hope that it changes what Nigerians at home eat. I hope that it also influences what is served in Nigerian restaurants at home and abroad. And I think more importantly is I hope that it inspires and creates a generation of small and medium entrepreneurs who create products that are exportable, that are shelf-stable products that can be, that can be used in restaurants, that can be sold at home and abroad.
I love how she cooks. I like how she elevates Nigerian food, how she takes something, a really simple ingredient, and then turns it into something fantastic. Like we have the green curry here, which is made with nchang, also known as efirin, and it's just fantastic.
For Ozoz, reinventing age-old recipes is our way of ensuring that those traditions remain alive and continue to be passed down from generation to generation.
Still to come on Network Africa, just how ready is Rio for the 2016 Olympics, which begin on Friday, August the 5th? Find out when we return.